Jo here again from Rockphonix Music Tuition, inspiring growth through music, and back with another instalment of our online tuition classes. Today's tutorial is going to be all about pitch, using low notes and high notes in percussion to get different sounds and different textures. We talked a little bit about this in the first video, so if you haven't yet checked that one out, do have a look. We're going to pop the link below. But for now, let's get on with today's session. As always, we're going to get ourselves warmed up and ready to learn. And because we're still looking at percussion, we're going to use some of the exercises from video 1. Again, you can check that out below to warm up this time. So we're going to be using the human drum machine, which, just a quick recap, do check it out if you want it in full. I make a sound on my invisible drum machine and you repeat it back to me. So let's have a quick go at that and then we'll move on. So grab your invisible drumsticks and repeat after me, and see this time if you can really keep a tempo, really keep a rhythm going. Let's try it a little bit more difficult. We're going to go ba-ba, 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 da-da-da, da-da-da, ch-ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch-ch, tss-tss, tss-tss. Great. So this time, to move it forward a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to make it a whole class activity. If you're working in a classroom, great. If you're working at home, maybe get your friends, families, or whoever it is that looks after you involved. And the way that it works is you make any sounds you want on your invisible drum machine. When you've had enough, you say the name of the next person whose turn it is. So let's say if our drummer Marcus was in the room, I may make my sounds and then go Marcus. And you can even imagine throwing them the invisible drumsticks. They catch and they carry on with the sounds that they want to make. What's really important is remembering that this is all about improvisation. It's all about making it up on the spot, doing what feels right, and not being afraid to make big expressive sounds. Teachers, this is a really good point to pause the video so you and your class can have a go at passing the invisible drumsticks around the room. We're going to go across to Marcus, who's going to take us through all the different parts of a drum kit and talk to us a little bit about pitch and how each part makes a different sound.
Hi, I'm Marcus from Rockphonix Music Tuition. I'm here today to show you different parts of a drum kit. And this is an electronic drum kit, so obviously it works electronically. The drum kits that you'll see on stage with big bands are called acoustic drum kits, and they make bigger sounds. So we've got an electronic drum kit here today because we can plug our headphones in and make a quieter sound but still have the same sounds. So I'm going to show you what the kick drum sounds like now. And the kick drum is located down here, and you use your foot to make a noise. So it's quite a deep, low sound. Next up, we have a snare drum, which is this thing here, and this makes a slightly higher sound. Can you hear the difference between the kick drum and the snare drum? They make slightly different sounds. And we also have these things here called tom-toms. So, and you can hear the toms are slightly different sounds as well. So they usually go from high, middle, low. So with a snare, all of those different sounds. And then on a drum kit you've got cymbals, which are these things up here, and this thing is called a hi-hat. So that's a crashing sound. That's a slightly different sound. That one's called a ride cymbal. That's a crash cymbal. And then we've got the hi-hats. So yeah, that is pretty much the standard drum kit sounds.
So now we know what all the different parts of a drum kit do, which bits make the low notes and which bits make the high notes, which is great. But what are you going to do if you don't have a drum kit available to you? Say you're at home and you don't have a drum kit or a drum, or you're in a classroom and you don't have 30 different drum kits available. Well, this is where some of the ideas from week 1 are going to come in. What I'd like you to do is look around you, maybe on your desk, on the things in the classroom, if you can move around safely. Or if you're at home, you could go into the kitchen or into the lounge and get a selection of different objects. Now, using either your hands or maybe cutlery or pens and pencils as drumsticks, you're going to experiment and identify which things you tap on make a low bassy sound, a bit like the kick drum, and which things you tap on that make a high tinny sound, like the cymbal or the hi-hat. Take a little bit of time, really explore the different sounds. Maybe you could try using a selection of different drumsticks. When you hit things with your hand, does it make a lower or a higher sound? But when you hit it with a pen, for example, does it make a lower or a high sound? Take some time, look around you, gather a selection of different objects, and really play with making those low and high sounds. And when you come back, we'll have a go at making a little bit of a rhythm. Great. So now you've experimented with making all the different sounds, the low notes, the high notes, and everything in between. I'd like you to build your drum kit around you. I'd like you to place your low bassy sound maybe in the middle in front of you, your kick drum. Place your tinny sounds, your cymbals and your hi-hats just in front of that, and any other drum bits you need in between. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go across to Marcus, who's going to lead us through a rhythm using all the different sounds, and you're going to see if you can play along with him, really experimenting with pitch, the low notes and the high notes, and rhythm at the same time.
I'm going to show you a drum beat using the kick drum, which is a low sound, the tom, which is a middle sound, and the cymbal, the crash cymbal, which is a high sound. So if you can find things around you that sound low, middle and high, and you can join in with me too. So using the kick drum, the tom and the cymbal, we're going to be going low, middle, low, low, high, low, middle, low, low, high. Low, middle, low, low, high.
So there we have it, our percussion and our rhythm lesson done. Thank you so much for joining us. We have been Rockphonix Music Tuition, inspiring growth through music, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you'd like to find out more about what we do, head over to www.rockphonix.co.uk.